Hello 861 subscribers, you're watching my favorite YouTube channel. I am Chillmonger. This is for you. I got you a heart. Because I heart you. Episode 4. It begins in a planet that looked like Ahch-To from Star Wars, but it was Asgard. Kid Loki, Sylvie, playing with her toys. She just created a branch reality. Her imagination got the better of her. This tells me exactly how evil the TVA are. A kid who was doing nothing wrong. They take the variant away from her home, erase everything with a reset generator. Her whole life is gone. And what? That's who we're dealing with? Oh, everything Sylvie does? Justified. She is the good guy. In my mind, this is the hero of the show. Sylvie does nothing wrong at all. It's the TVA who operate with such absolutes. And you remember what they said in Star Wars? Only a Sith deals in absolutes. She, Loki, Sylvie, outsmarts them and knows how a tempad works immediately and finds her way back or out. I don't know where she hid. Maybe she hid in a freaking Nexus event because that's the only way to hide and evade. I don't know how she knew all that. Poor writing is how she knew all that. Cut back to the present. Ravonna Renslayer says, I need access to C20. I actually thought C20 was still alive when this was all said and done, but it will get confirmed later on when Mobius steals the tempad, which he knew the password on. Like, we got thumbprint passwords and stuff here. Again, poor writing. Renslayer is alive. C20 is dead. Renslayer killed her. Ooh, the heel turn. I automatically hate this character more than anything else. Everything that she does is just bad. They did save Sylvie and Loki from the Nexus event that was happening on Lamentis. However, and I understand why you would go if you're Loki, why there would be no fight if you're Loki and Sylvie, because you're about to die and there's this door that opens. You'll be out of power once you hit that door and you're not going to have your abilities anymore. But at the same time, instant death. What do? We live. And I can see why they did choose to live there in that situation. Loki and Sylvie, though, if you thought there was chemistry in the last episode, you were right to think so. There was. He loves himself. And Mobius was like, this is some sort of weird sicko thing that you got. And like, ooh, Loki had to sit there and take it. Yeah. I don't know what sort of gender fluid self-pleasure they're going for there, but it's there, it's in the show. I would bet you that they did film a kiss for episode 6. Marvel filmed this, and they also filmed another alternate ending. Both of them would be alternate endings, and if the fans can receive well to this, and the fans are shipping these couple together, then there will be a Sylvie Loki kiss at episode 6. But if it's being received poorly, I can see Kevin Feige going, they're saying on YouTube that this is weird, so let's not do it. Let's see if we can tell a love story between a guy and himself, except from another universe. It's never been done before. It's comic books. But yeah, I guess that kiss that they were going to have caused this branch reality. That's why it went vertical. Well, whatever was going to happen, woof, nuts. Loki gets arrested and gets thrown into some Izanagi time warp where he sees what? Is that Lady Sif? This show is instantly better than last week when I see Lady Sif. And she's telling him stuff, and it looks like they had a fight from back in the day. She kicks and punches him, and then she gets to him and she says, you will always be alone. That hurt Loki. Didn't hurt me because of what he did in Germany. Remember, he did the thing with the eye just to get the retinal scan. Loki is still a villain to me. Not a guy who I like. He may be the protagonist of this show, but he's not my hero. Not at all. This guy is a villain, a villainy villain who's ever villain. Now Mobius and Loki get to talking, and Loki explains to him, you're being lied to. It's also when this conversation was the first time where we were listening to Loki talk about how he had a relationship with Sylvie. We planned this all from the start. The first time we were ever in the lie with Loki. Every other time I sort of believed his tricks, but this was seeing him do this and being with him, for the ride was a different experience. The only other time I can think of this was when Thor Ragnarok, they get off the elevator, him and Thor, they're about to leave Sakaar and hop on the ship, and the camera angle can see him do his duplication deal, and leave, then the audience was in on the joke. But Thor kind of outsmarted him. That's why he put something on his back to trick him. That's the other time we've ever been inside on the joke. But there's this other character. What's her name? B-15, who they've been building up, and we've been hating her because she's so powerful. And boy, was it good to have her back on our side, because Enchantress Sylvie touched on her, gave her a memory she didn't know existed, and she lets it seep through. B-15 is woke, is enlightened, because that's the way I use the word woke, not fucking when you race swap a character. That's the way I interpret the word. And I don't woke. She's woke. She comes through, saves everyone. They were about to be judged. Sylvie and Loki were talking to these timekeepers. It's the 3 timekeepers. Wow. And when I see them, and yeah, they've got some tech and some kind of cool gadgets towards them, it makes me think, is that why everything at the TVA is low tech? Because by comparison, this stunt would look more top notch, easier to fool someone when you're surrounded by low tech stuff. When something high tech comes on the scene, maybe I'll believe it more better. There was a fight here on this in this courtroom. Horrible action scene. There's a scene where Lady Loki Sylvie punches out Renslayer, leaves her laying there. Why didn't you kill her? Because we're playing for keeps. Everyone's gonna kill you if they get the opportunity. You kept her alive for a reason. That's kept consistent, because after the whole ordeal happens, they find out that the timekeepers were even fake to begin with. I have no idea where the show is going. We're at a stalemate. Behind comes Renslayer, gets Loki. You probably should have seen her getting up, but whatever. Sylvie watches Loki die. If he hadn't died so many times, I wouldn't believe it. There's a scene where Mobius dies also. I'm sure Mobius gets transported to the same place Loki is in. I don't believe that death either. It was, at the moment, it was a high stake death, but when I see Loki survives, then I guess he survives also. She needed to keep her alive, Renslayer, just to know. For answers, that's the only reason you're keeping that villain alive. It works for me. It's a good understanding of why she kept her alive. There's an end credit scene, and Loki is met with a voice of an older Loki wearing a Halloween costume. And there's a black Loki. What did I write in my notes here about this black Loki? I said I needed answers because, as it says here, I'm all for diversity, but how could there be room for a black version of Loki to biologically be birthed if the sacred timeline is intact? If there is a sacred timeline, everything has to flow the way it's supposed to flow. The parents of Loki will always be the same 2 frost giants. It doesn't make sense to me. Or the TVA didn't have a grasp on the multiverse until after Loki was born. Loki's 1,500 years old like Thor? Maybe that is when the TVA got their sacred timeline in order. Anything pre-1,500 years ago still flies. So that's why it's... or maybe it's just an enchantment to make this Loki skin color black. I know why they do it, for the sake of TV, to tell them apart. There's an older Loki, there's a younger Loki who looks like Florida Loki with the alligator. There's a black Loki, so we can know the difference between the 3. There's also a female Loki. That makes sense to me. Just when you do something with another skin color, it's weird. It's more easier to digest a female Loki. It just means that the X gene and the Y genes in these parents they're swapped. That's how it works, right? No, it's not. When it's 2 X genes, but it's frost giants. It could be anything. That's how I understood that female Loki variant coming. It's a different universe, sure, it's a different outcome. But with this skin color being different, I'm overthinking it, of course. But that's what you're here for. Loki review episode 4. What did you think of the episode? Because I would give it, let's see, 8 or 9 out of 10. Let's live in the moment. This was a 9 out of 10 episode. Great little end credit scene, even though I don't like end credit scenes in my Disney Pluses. Come on, Disney Plus. All I gotta do is skim through and I'll find the scene. Yeah, other than that, tell me what you thought of the episode. Rate it. And then say what you disagreed with me. And then say what you agreed with me. And then like the video. Peace out, everyone.
That was the video and this is the outro. I'm pleased to announce that I now have a Teespring store. Find the Chillmonger logo filled in, not filled in, or however you like it on the Teespring store. You can also find me on Patreon to support me at $1 US or 10. Thanks.